Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today we're back to working on the capstan off of the Tally-Ho sailing ship up in the Pacific Northwest. And we have previously been working on this, machining some areas down here in the bottom of this casting that will be receiving a big internal gear coming up. The next step that I've got on this casting is we need to do some machining in this area in here. So the capstan is basically a winch that's on the boat that is used to haul up the anchor. It's used to, you can wrap ropes around this drum here to get tension on them to pull whatever you need to pull. Basically, it's just a big winch. Originally, this one would have been hand operated. There have been some cranks on it that you would have cranked by hand. In this day and age, they decided that they wanted to motorize this. Leo up there that's working on this decided to motorize it. It'll still have the option to use the hand cranks, but there will be a motor that comes up from the bottom into a big ring gear here that will turn this to basically power this capstan. They'll have the original capstan, but it'll be modernized in all intent and purposes. Today's job is down here in this area. This is what is called the Gypsy on this particular thing. This is where the anchor chain would come into. And we're going to be machining out the webbing in here that would have been used to crank up the original chain on the Tally-Ho. Why are we doing that? Well, number one, this is extremely worn. Number two, you cannot get a chain, an anchor chain anymore that fits this Gypsy. This Gypsy is over 100 years old. This capstan is over 100 years old. And because of that, we're basically going to need to modify this area to work with the chain that they'll be using on the Tally-Ho. So what we're going to do is we're going to machine this area out, and then there's a gentleman over in the UK that is actually going to be making a piece that will clamp into this and bolt into this, and we'll be replacing this Gypsy area with one that is fresh and clean and not worn out, and also one that matches the chain it's going to be pulling up. So we're going to be getting in over on my Monarch 28-inch lathe and start nibbling out this area in here and getting that machine ready for those parts to come in that we're going to be installing in here at a later date, coming up soon. Let's get in here and get going. All right, I got you guys kind of looking down in here. We can see, and right now what we need to do is we need to start machining out all this webbing in here that would have originally grabbed that chain. You can see it's pretty worn down here in the bottom. I want to basically get this cleaned up where we can have a piece that we can just slide in here and clamp it in place. Again, we're probably not going to clean it up 100%. I know I got some areas like right here where there's looks like something kind of bore that area. They're out for some reason. So, it's not going to be perfectly flat across that, but we're going to do the best job we can. So anyway, let's get in here and fire the machine up. See if we can get that cut out. All right, we're going to come in here and start nibbling. Kind of figure out where I'm at here. Going to kind of feed in toward the chuck, and now I'm going to kind of pull this out towards me. I'm going to get it back in. Feed in some more. Come back out. Got several limiting factors going on here. I'm really limited in how far I can reach inside this area. I'm also got some studs sticking out on that bottom drum that is wanting to hit the cross slide here. So I can extend this tool in farther as we go and kind of nibble it out, but we're just going to have to take this a little bit at a time. get her cleaned up. Now we're going back down to our depth again. Feeding back out toward me. Stop that just to kind of see where we're at. You know, we're nibbling them out. That's what we want. So I'm just going to keep on going here. Back down to that bottom. Feeding toward the chuck. Now feeding toward me, back and back out again. I'm feeding in now. I'm kind of touched off in that bottom. Probably not cleaning up all the way around, but I'm starting to kind of get to the final depth there. I'm going to feed in here. It's taking a beating. That piece of carbide is holding up though. So far, so good. As far as we can go on this side. So, you can kind of see where we're at. Cleaning up a little bit in there around, but we've got a lot of that machined out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change boring bars. We're going to put one that cuts on the other side, and we're going to kind of do the same thing over here. And then I can extend this in and go a little bit deeper. And we're just going to have to work our way out until we get all this cleaned up. It's going all right. I'm happy with where we're at. It's going to take a little finagling and doing. All right, guys, we are getting ready to start working on this other side over here. This side went pretty good. To do this, I need a cutter that's tilted in the other direction. I don't have a boring bar, at least a big boring bar that's stout enough to really handle this pressure that's in that direction. So what I did is I just flipped this over, and instead of having the part turn toward me, we're just going to reverse the work, have it cutting up, and we'll be able to work on that side. That's kind of my game plan here for getting out there. So let me put this in gear. So we're working in reverse, but we'll get her done here. So, all right, we're going to come in here again. All right, that's as far as we can go. We're starting to hit over here on this stuff. I'm going to feed in. And again, we're just going to back the cutter out. Same as before, we're just kind of going in backwards mode. Feed away from the chuck now. One of the challenges that I have is with this cross slide, I don't have a whole lot of in and out movement I can do just because of the size of the work that's in here. I really don't have enough travel to do this whole job in one time. I'm going to have to do it in sections, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. All We're just going to nibble this thing away just like we did before. So again, we nibbled out a little section here, kind of across from the other side. What I've done now, again, because I can't really get my cross slide to go in any farther, so what I've done is I've just loosened my cutter up and I've moved it in farther. While we're cutting in the up mode here, we're going to go ahead and do this, but I can go in about that deep right there and go ahead and nibble that out on this side, and then we'll flip the cutter over and come in here and do the other side. It's just going to be kind of continuing to do that until we get it all nibbled out in there, but that should be good to go right there. So probably not going to bore you guys too much with this, but we're going to continue on until we get this kind of nibbled out of there. Well, we took another chunk out of there, another notch. So now I'm going to flip my cutter back around. We're going to cut on the other side again. And we're just slowly working our way down in there. We're getting there. So I'm just going to flip this over, loosen it up. Back the other way here. That should be about where I want to be on the depth. Go ahead and tighten that up. And we'll do another round here. I need to turn my machine around, so I'm going to shut it off. Get back in forward mode. There we go. Feed in until I start making contact right there. Start nibbling it out again. Bring you guys back here a little bit. I dug around. I found another boring bar that actually cuts to this size. It's a little bit I had to do a little rigging to get it mounted on the lathe over here, but I think I got this where I can use it. I'm going to try it. I would rather this be cutting on the downstroke rather than on the upstroke. It's putting a lot of pressure on the lathe on the upstroke, kind of pulling up instead of pushing down on everything. I think I can just get a better cut this way. So we're going to give it a try. Let's go in here and see what we can do. So we're going to go down here as deep as we can go, which is about right there. This tool has a different geometry. I can't make as deep of a cut with it, but we can still get it done. All right. Just got a little bit more nibbled out. All right, now that I've kind of got everything kind of roughed out in here, I am trying to get this inside diameter turned down to something. I'm just going to kind of go for a nominal size here. It really doesn't matter what it is. We'll machine the other part to match it. But I do want to try to get a little bit more out of there. So I'm going to take about 50 thousandths off that diameter more. So I'll just dial that in, and we're just going to let that cut across. And you know, before we were just kind of roughing things out. Now I'm paying a little bit more closer attention to precision here. I'm trying to get these diameters smoother. I'm using my automatic feeds rather than just kind of nibbling it out by hand. So we'll let this cut on through here, and I'm probably get a micrometer in there and get a measurement. We'll cut the other side to match that diameter down to the bottom once I kind of get to where I want to be. I want to go a little bit deeper than where I'm at, but I'm not going to go all the way down into that groove where the chain has wore out over the years. But we're going to get a little bit more of that cut out and make the other side match. We're going to swap our cutter out, put up one to cut in the other direction, and work on this end over here. So let's go ahead and get that done. Get this cutter out of here. I like the finish I was getting with that other boring bar. So I think what I want to do, it's got a little bit different type of cutter on it here. So I think we're going to go with this one here. A little bit different insert. That other one was good for roughing. This one here is good, better for finishing work. So we're going to go with it, I think. All right. Get a starting point. Make about a 50 thousandths cut in there. I'm going to need to go get my micrometer. I'm getting close to diameter. I still got a little bit more to take out in there, but don't want to go too far. All right, I'm coming in here with a micrometer and just trying to get an idea of where we're at. So this side over here, let's see, that's measuring. We're at 4 inches, 600, and let's see, 25, 35, 46. 646, and this side over here is a good bit smaller. I still haven't gotten it down to size. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to go to right now. I'm probably going to just shoot for a nominal size of some sort in here. This is a smaller diameter, and looks like it is 474. And what's close to that? Tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go to 4 3/8, 4.375. That'll let me take a little bit more off of this side. Take that diameter down a little bit more than what it is right now, which I think we got room to do. So since I'm on this side, we're going to work on this side, get it to size, and then we'll come back and turn the other side where it matches and we got the same diameter on both sides. So we've got this inside diameter now turned to 4 3/8 inches, 4.375 on both sides. We're matching up right across there very nicely. I'm happy with that inside diameter. Next, I need to basically just get the width or the thickness in between these evened out as best as I can. And it really doesn't matter what the measurement is. We just need to know what it is so that we can make our piece that fits down in here. Now, it's probably not going to be a perfect match just because this is a casting and we're not going to be able to get it completely. I'm not going to try to take out any more metal than I have to on this. So we're going to get to clean up a little bit. The challenge I've got here, guys, though, is that because of the way this lathe is made, I've only got about a 1/2 inch of travel on my cross slide before I start running into things. So I can only do about a 1/2 inch of this at a time. It'd be really ideal to be able to do the whole surface in one facing operation, but we're going to have to do it in segments on each side. Less than ideal, but you know, we're just going to make do with what we got and do the best job we can with what we got. So anyway, we're going to get in here. We'll just touch off in the bottom and probably work our way out is kind of my game plan, and try to get that done. So I've got my bar loose where I can adjust it here. What I'm going to do is I am going to pull this up as far as I can. So I got that in neutral before I'm going to hit. It'll be probably the extent of how far I can go in. So now I'm going to push this bar all the way in, and we'll just go back as far as we can. It's going to be, I don't know, that's probably 3/4 of an inch is what I've got on travel there. So, all right, let's put the lathe back in gear here, fire up. Come into that corner. We'll start coming out. Go back in. We're going to cut a little bit more because I can tell I'm running out of metal out here the farther out I get. All right, we got our first little section in there faced off. So now what I need to do is move my cutter and do the next one. So again, I'm going to move things in here as far as I can go without hitting over here, which is about right there. And now I'm going to move my cutter out to about where we finished up before. Tighten it back down, and we'll make another pass. All right, guys, I think that we have got this area machined out. I need to get some measurements on how wide that is, but it feels pretty good. It looks pretty good. I think we're going to be fine. So we should be able to bring that new piece, that new Gypsy piece in there, and get it all put back together. So I think we got our turning done. I do need to get this off the lathe and over to the workbench probably, and get some measurements on everything so that we can get everything else machined to fit it. I'll go ahead and get the measurement on this inside gap in here before I do anything. Now, this is not a very easy thing to really get a precision measurement on because I don't really have anything to get down inside of such a deep thing easily. I do, but I don't have a lot of just regular direct reading metrology tools. What I'm going to use is a planer gauge. And this planer gauge, you know, is set up where you can, you know, slide it up and down on an angle. And we're going to come in here and find an area where we have pretty good surface on both sides. So I'm just going to expand it out until it, you know, fits in here pretty good, about like such. And I'm going to tighten that down right there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go around and put it in here. I want that to be kind of a slip fit in here. I don't want it be a press fit. You know, we might need to be just a little bit bigger. Let me get it back in here again. Yes. And that's just a really snug fit, but yet it will slide right in there. We're going to be mechanically attaching this Gypsy in there, so I think that's probably where we want to be at. Now I can just take a micrometer and check that measurement, and all is good. So let me do that, and we'll know what the measurement is. All right, we're about ready here to go ahead and try to get this off of the machine now. I think I need to go up with this. Let's see. Put this back on here. I'll put just a little bit of tension on it. All right. Now I can start breaking this loose. So we'll pull our tailstock out and start loosening up the four-jaw chuck. All right, we are hanging, and I'm going to take it on the inside in there. I think I can swing it and put it on a little dolly and move it out of the way. I can go between the machines easier than I come on the outside. My boom is not long enough in the top. Just come down. Now that we got this off the machine, I can measure this diameter. I really couldn't measure it before because this live center was right in the center, and we need to measure across that. Now to do this, I'm using basically a inside micrometer. Now the one I'm using over here, this is part of a set of what some people call this the suitcase micrometer because it had all these micrometers, but basically all these little pieces just screw together and you can basically make an inside micrometer however long you need. And I think I've got extensions in here to go up to like 24 feet. Yeah, crazy. But anyway, I put together a section here, are the pieces needed to measure this. And we just came in here on the inside measurement and did that. And I did it in multiple places and made sure I was repeatedly getting it. Inside measurements can be difficult sometimes, so you want to go for repeatability. And once I got them, got my measurement, I basically took this and used an outside micrometer and measured across it just to double confirm that, you know, with adding together everything in here, it came out to the same number, but I just do that to confirm. So this inside measurement, it turned out to be 12.774. And again, I wasn't shooting for anything in particular. It's just whatever ended up was what it was going to be. And that's what we'll need to make the gear that's going to go up in here, that diameter. I also measured the thickness or the depth of this. That came out, what was that? 1.8 inches around. This is a rough casting, so it's probably not exactly the same all the way around. And we'd already measured the diameter on the inside. That was what, 4 3/8, 4.375. And then the thickness in here turned out to be 2.510. And again, I wasn't shooting for anything in particular. We just measured it, and that's what we're going to machine the other part to fit. So I think we got all of our measurements now. And we're ready. Really, I'm waiting to get the parts from the UK on this to finish putting this part together. We have some other things we can be working on the Capstan project in the meantime, but this will allow them to get the rest of that stuff manufactured over there and shipped over here so we can get that put together. Well, guys, first job over here on the big lathe that I've done, and very happy with the results. I think this is going to work out just fine. I've got the measurements I need to get up with the rest of the guys so that we can get the rest of the parts for this. And we've got other parts we need to be working on this project that we'll be working on as well while we're waiting on those to get here. But this is a good first step for me, and very happy to get this knocked out. Hope you enjoyed that. We got more to do on this capstan coming up, plenty more to do on it, but we're off to a good start, guys. And with that, that's going to be a wrap. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Those thumbs up and comments are always greatly appreciated. Hit that bell icon up there to get notifications when new videos are posted to the site. And as always, a big, huge thank you to both the subscribers to the site as well as those who support the site financially through Patreon, PayPal, etc. Really enables us to be able to take the time to shoot these videos and bring them to you so that you can enjoy and go for the ride. All right, guys, with that, we'll catch you on the next video again. Thanks for watching.